Your dog just licked your face. Maybe your hand. Maybe the same spot on your arm, slowly, deliberately, while looking straight at you. And you smiled, maybe laughed, and thought, "He loves me." And here's the thing, you're not wrong. But what if that single gesture carried more information than you ever imagined? What if, underneath something you see every single day, there was an entire language you've never been taught to read? Because that's exactly what's happening. Your dog's tongue is not just a sign of affection, it's one of the most sophisticated biological instruments in the animal kingdom. And what I want to show you today is how each layer of this behavior builds on the last, until you arrive at something that's going to completely reframe the way you see your dog. Not just in the big moments. In the quiet, ordinary ones, the ones you've already lived 100 times without realizing what they meant. Every point in this video is a piece of that picture. And once it's complete, you won't be able to look at your dog the same way again. 1. Before we get into the emotional and behavioral layers, let's start with the most fundamental thing, the one most people skip entirely. Licking is not instinct in the romantic sense. It is a hardwired survival behavior that starts at birth. The moment a puppy enters the world, the mother licks it. She's not just cleaning, she's stimulating the respiratory and circulatory systems. She's literally keeping the puppy alive through licking. And neurologically, something remarkable happens in that first hour. Licking becomes permanently associated with safety, warmth, and bonding. Research from the University of Illinois on canine maternal behavior shows that the frequency and consistency of early maternal licking directly influences how social and emotionally regulated a dog becomes as an adult. Puppies who received less maternal licking were measurably more anxious and less adaptive. So when your adult dog licks you, he's reaching back into something ancient, a neurological memory of what it meant to be safe. It's not just affection. It's survival coded as love. And once you understand that, everything else about dog licking starts to make a completely different kind of sense. Because the tongue isn't just a tool. It's a data-gathering instrument. 2. Your skin is an information highway, and your dog knows how to read it. This is not a metaphor. Dogs have somewhere between 125 and 300 million olfactory receptors in their nasal cavity, compared to about 6 million in humans. But here's what most people don't realize, those receptors aren't just in the nose. The act of licking deposits chemical compounds from your skin directly onto the olfactory membrane inside the mouth, in a structure called the vomeronasal organ, or Jacobson's organ. This organ processes pheromones, hormones, and other biochemical signals in a way that bypasses conscious smell entirely. It goes straight to the limbic system, the part of the brain governing emotion and memory. A 2022 study published in Science showed that dogs could detect pheromone signals in humans with remarkable accuracy, identifying stress hormones, fear responses, and even early-stage metabolic changes. So when your dog licks your hand after you get home from work, he's reading your entire emotional state from your sweat, your cortisol levels, your body temperature. He knows if it was a good day or a terrible one before you've said a single word. Think about the last time your dog seemed unusually clingy when you were stressed. That wasn't coincidence. 3. Licking is also your dog's primary language for managing social tension, and once you see this, you can't unsee it. In canine ethology, there's a well-documented category of behaviors called calming signals, first systematized by Norwegian dog trainer and behaviorist Turid Ruggeis in the early 1990s and since validated by multiple ethological studies. Calming signals are deliberate, ritualized behaviors dogs use to de-escalate social tension, both in interactions with other dogs and with humans. Licking, particularly slow, deliberate licking of a person's hand or face, is one of the most common. It signals, "I am not a threat. I am trying to make this okay." So when you come home frustrated, voice slightly elevated, movements sharper than usual, and your dog immediately starts licking your hand, he's not just happy to see you. He's performing a sophisticated social ritual, trying to bring down the temperature of the interaction. He's reading the tension in your body language and responding with one of the most ancient tools he has for saying everything is okay between us. And if you find yourself wondering whether your dog does this specifically when you seem upset, that's because he does. If that's already shifting something in the way you see your dog, stay with us. Subscribe if you haven't yet. This is exactly what this channel exists to do. 4. Not all licking is the same, and the differences matter enormously. There are at least 4 neurologically distinct categories of licking behavior, each driven by different brain pathways. The first is social licking, the face-to-face, mutual contact type, associated with oxytocin release in both the dog and the human. Yes, your dog gets a neurochemical reward from licking you, similar to what happens during physical contact with a trusted bonded companion. The second is stress relief licking, often directed at the dog's own paws or at repetitive surfaces, driven by the same opioid system that governs compulsive behaviors in humans. The third is exploratory licking, information gathering, shorter and more deliberate, focused on specific areas like hands, ankles, or recently washed skin. And the fourth, the one people miss most, is what behaviorists call appeasement licking, which is submissive in tone, often accompanied by lowered posture, soft eyes, and a slightly tucked tail. Each one looks similar to the casual observer, but the behavioral context is entirely different. A dog who licks your face with a high wagging tail and bouncy posture is in full oxytocin-driven joy. A dog who licks slowly, with a tight body and slightly pinned ears, is managing something internally. Same behavior, completely different emotional state. Learning to read which one you're seeing is one of the most important shifts you can make as a dog owner. 5. Here's the one that surprises people most in terms of sheer science. Licking may have direct health implications for both you and your dog. On the human side, this is complicated territory. Dog saliva contains lysozyme and other antimicrobial compounds. There's an ancient basis for the folk belief that a dog's lick can help a wound. But modern research is unambiguously clear. Dog mouths also contain bacteria including Pasteurella, Capnocytophaga, and in rarer cases, pathogens that can cause serious infections in immunocompromised individuals. The health community is pretty consistent here. Keep licks away from open wounds and mucous membranes, especially for young children and elderly people. But the other direction, what licking does for the dog is more surprising. A 2019 study from Nagasaki University found that dogs who had regular positive physical contact with their owners, including mutual grooming behaviors, had measurably lower cortisol levels and lower resting heart rates over time. Licking you isn't just emotionally meaningful to your dog. It's physiologically regulatory. It actively reduces his stress response. You are, quite literally, medicine for your dog, and his tongue is how he administers the dose. Which brings us to something that sits underneath all of this, something that most dog owners never consciously consider. 6. There's a pattern that researchers and experienced trainers have noticed, and it points to something extraordinary about the depth of canine observation. Dogs don't just respond to your emotional state in the moment, they track changes. They build a baseline. They know what your normal looks like. A 2016 paper from the Animal Cognition Journal demonstrated that dogs reliably discriminated between happy and angry human facial expressions, but the more striking finding was this: they showed a stress response when familiar humans displayed unusual or inconsistent emotional cues, even subtle ones. Your dog knows your default. Your gait, your smell, your rhythm, your tone. So when something is off, even before you've consciously registered it yourself, your dog has already flagged it. And his first response is often to come close, to lick, to gather information, to stay near you. This is not anthropomorphism. This is documented, measurable, peer-reviewed canine behavior. Your dog is running a continuous diagnostic on you, and licking is one of his primary assessment tools. Now, I told you at the beginning that there was something I was holding back. Something that would change the way you see those moments when your dog won't leave your side. Here it is. When your dog follows you from room to room, some of the time, it's pure attachment, the secure base behavior we know well from canine bonding research. But sometimes it's something else entirely. Dogs can detect physiological changes in the human body before symptoms become visible. We know this from research on medical alert dogs, animals trained to detect oncoming seizures, diabetic hypoglycemic events, and cardiac irregularities. But here's what the training research reveals: they aren't learning a trick. They are doing naturally what dogs have always done, monitoring the biochemical signals coming off the people they're bonded to. Cortisol spikes. Adrenaline shifts. Changes in skin conductance, respiratory rate, subtle variations in body odor caused by metabolic or cardiovascular changes. Some of this precedes any conscious symptom by minutes, sometimes longer. Your dog, on an ordinary Tuesday afternoon, following you from the kitchen to the living room and back again, licking your hand, pressing against your leg, he may not just be seeking closeness. He may be detecting something you don't yet know is there, and trying, in the only way he knows how, to stay close enough to protect you. That thought stays with me. I hope it stays with you too. If this video changed something about how you see your dog, click the like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps more people find this content. And I want to hear from you in the comments. Does your dog follow you at specific times? When you're sick, stressed, sad, or out of nowhere for no apparent reason. Tell me what you've noticed. Turn on notifications so you don't miss any content. This is the channel where we delve deeper into the dog-human relationship than almost anywhere else on the platform. We'd love to have you with us.